Welcome back, Pokeloggers, to the 6th instalment of our Pokelog Battle series. Here on screen for you today, I have a brand new team built in game by me from scratch, which obviously features Whimsicott and Cobalion. That seems like the main feature of the team, but I can assure you it's really not. We want to realistically get into a position where we can use Whimsicott and Cobalion to take advantage of Cobalion's fantastic justified ability, partner with Beat Up. However, the Fate Tears option on Whimsicott is to assist Lapras and Togekiss as well. Togekiss and Lapras are completely bulked out, they have very little investment in their special attack, if any at all. Reason being for that is Fate Tears allows them to pick up, not always KOs, but allows them to do considerable damage while hiding behind that bulk of theirs. Another option is for Lapras and Togekiss to be our lead, and Lapras can go for an Ice Shard into Togekiss, propping its weakness policy, and with its fantastic bulk, and it's also respectable special attack stat being doubled from there, allows it to continue to do some considerable damage until it gets knocked out. The Incineroar and the Dragapult there, especially the Incineroar for Intimidate, Fake Out and Parting Shot support. Incineroar and Dragapult actually rotate in and out of each other quite well. So Dragapult covers Incineroar's fighting weakness, and Incineroar covers Dragapult's Ghost and Dart weakness as well. So, you know, you can get some Intimidate off there without taking too much damage at all. Quite another cool feature of this team is a feature that I actually tacked onto it about an hour ago before recording this episode, is Whimsicott and Lapras actually have quite a sort of trick up their sleeve, really. It's basically, I don't know if any of you guys are struggling with Dynamax Kingdra at the moment. So what I did was I run a few different calculations on Pokemon Damage Calculator, and I actually found out that if you put a certain amount of bulk into Lapras and a certain amount of special attack, you can actually survive any attack from a Dynamax Kingdra that's using a Max Wormwind, for example, which is a stab move, which is obviously very powerful, which is also a Life Orb boost, is max special attack and modest as well. And also, get this, if it's boosted by a Helping Hand from Politoed, Lapras still eats it up with about 10% HP remaining. Hopefully we get a chance to showcase this in today's episode. I really hope we do, because it must look amazing in game. The idea is, once you soak up that attack, Fate Tears comes out onto the Kingdra, so it's a half special defense, and then you use Freeze Dry on it, which is 4 times super effective. There's no chance of it surviving. I've run the calculations multiple times to be sure. It will always one-hit KO, and you will always survive the attack from it, providing the Politoed doesn't double up into you. But what's it going to do against Lapras? Nothing really. So yeah, hopefully we get a chance to show that off, as it's such a cool tech to have on the team. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with today's episode. And if you guys do want to try out this team, rental code is on the screen. Please do tag me if you use the team, as I built it myself, and it would be awesome to see you guys using it with your own style as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with today's episode. Okay, so for our first battle of the day, we have a potential Kingdra and Politoed lead, accompanied by some pretty scary late game stuff in the form of Corviknight and Urshifu. So what I think I'm actually going to do here is go with the Whimsicott and Lapras lead. This will definitely one-hit KO the Kingdra, providing that's what their lead. I mean, there's a pretty good chance they will, especially if Kingdra's carrying Ice Beam or want to attack at the Dragapult, Togekiss, Incineroar with Hydro Pump, which will turn into Max Geyser. So there's no real reason for them to not consider bringing it. Obviously that doesn't mean they're going to. Cobalion's kind of hindered by Gengar and Dedusii. So I'm thinking for that reason I might actually bring Dragapult. And then just depends which Urshifu it is, whether it's Rapid Strike or Single Strike style. I'm thinking maybe is Togekiss a better? Maybe Incineroar, just to go up against the Corviknight in the late game perhaps, and we can get some Intimidates off on the Urshifu if needs be. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping to bring Cobalion this first game alongside Whimsicott, but it's never usually that easy. And I found, like, from the games that I've played with this team, a lot of people actually go into the matchup predicting you're going to lead Cobalion and Whimsicott, so they'll actually like their follow me users, or their okay, brilliant. So I actually get to show you guys how well this set works with one-hit KO in a Dynamax Kingdra. As long as the Politoed goes for a Helping Hand, and it doesn't actually double up onto the Lapras, we'll definitely get the one hit KO on the Kingdra, even if it Dynamaxes here. So we'll go for a Fate Tears onto the Kingdra, and then a Freeze Dry onto it as well. This way we take out their Dynamax Mon without even having to Dynamax ourselves. Okay, so the only sort of, I haven't come across it yet, but if the Politoed went for a Hypnosis onto Lapras perhaps, obviously that stops us. Maybe if it doubles up, those are the only real ways that it can get out of this. But I actually come up with this, okay, there's a helping hand. I come up with this idea today, literally like 2 hours ago, and tacked it onto the team. So yeah, as long as the Kingdra uses a Max Wormwind, so it's a stab move, Max Airstream, that's probably not even that bad. Okay, it goes into Whimsicott, no big deal, as it's going down this turn anyway. Critical hit, doesn't matter because we've got the Sash. And Politoed should move before Lapras, but I can't see it using, unless it goes, okay, we're faster. And one hit KO. It's literally that easy. So yeah, I'm glad I got to show that off actually, because it's okay, got low battery on the one Joy-Con, that's not good. Hopefully they don't die mid-game, as we had such a phenomenal first turn there. So yeah, let's see what they're bringing next. Gengar, okay. Yeah, we're in a pretty good position as Lapras hasn't taken any damage here. So, okay, so they've brought in Gengar. So that could actually be the thing that's holding the Sash here. What we could go for here is a Tailwind, just to ensure that we move first. And then maybe go for I suppose we could always go for a Thunder onto the Politoed, but I feel like Freeze Dry here does more damage. Could even actually go for, I suppose, the Gengar. Yeah, the Gengar's probably going to outspeed us here. So, I'm thinking if we just go for a Protect, and then actually just go for a Freeze Dry onto the Politoed. Yeah, because I think the Gengar's going to target down the Whimsicott here. Okay, so Politoed protects, Gengar uses Trick. Is that going into Lapras? Probably getting rid of our Light Clay. And we get a Choice Scarf. That's not actually too bad really, because Freeze Dry isn't a move that we don't exactly want to be locked into here. So what I'm actually going to do is go for a Fate Tears into the Politoed and a Freeze Dry, just to ensure that we pick up the KO, because our Lapras is pretty bulky, so it does need the support from Fate Tears to actually get anything off. I'm hoping my Joy-Con charge lasts till the end of this game at least, so I can actually change to my other Joy-Cons. Okay, Helping Hand from the Gengar. If it's running Thunder, I still don't really see it one hit going. Lapras here. Okay, Focus Blast, okay. Could perhaps pick up the one hit KO, and we actually survived that, which is brilliant. I suppose I actually managed to hit that. Seems like the don't even one hit KO. That's one tanky Politoed. Is that leftovers? Okay, so I'm thinking now, do we go for a? I'm gonna say actually. I don't think if Gengar I don't think Gengar. I think Gengar sits at 178 speed. We didn't bring Cobalion on this game anyway, so there's no point in going for anything. So we beat up here. We just could bring in the. Yeah, I suppose so. It's probably worth going for a Tailwind, just to allow Incineroar to outspeed. Yeah, I think that's fine. Go for a Tailwind this turn, and then just opt to go for another Freeze Dry into the Politoed. I don't really see the point in Dynamaxing just yet. I want to get... Okay, yeah, I should have probably predicted that Protect there. Okay, so Whimsicott gets the Tailwind up. Just going to go for another Focus Blast here. Okay, we actually outspeed the Gengar. Oh, because of the Choice Scarf, of course, yeah. So they give Whimsicott the Light Clay. Maybe forgetting that we use our Focus Sash. Okay, I'm just going to go for a Fate Tears onto the Politoed again. Just make it easier to KO later on. And then actually go for another Freeze Dry here. Go for we get double knocked out here, which is fine. Allows us to bring in Dragapult and Incineroar, which have good synergy. Okay, so whatever's coming in is going to get Fake Teared. If this is the single strike, which it is, can't use Fake Tears on it due to it being Prankster. Get off a little bit of chip damage here. It's actually quite considerable damage. Shadow Ball goes into Lapras, which is actually fine. Don't mind losing Lapras here, it's definitely doing its work, picking up that one hit KO on Kingdra. Okay, so the rain stops, and we can bring in... Who do I want to bring in here? Kind of wish I had Cobalion now. I'm thinking to bring out Incineroar. Fake out the... Yeah, I'm thinking to fake out the Urshifu. And allow Whimsicott to go down here. We don't actually have speed. Okay. Yeah, Fight Tears is pretty useless here, so I'll go for Protect instead. No, actually, no, we kind of want Whimsicott to get knocked out here. How long's left of our Tailwind? 2 turns. Okay, so yeah, if we Protect here, just see what they go for, and then we could just go for a Fake out onto Urshifu just to get some more chip damage off onto it. Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's looking around about 55% now. Okay, so I think it's fine for us to just go for a... Try and get off a double Protect here, possibly. And then actually switch out Incineroar into Dragapult, because I'm expecting them to go for a fighting type move. I suppose this is where like not having Cobalion works out better. I suppose Incineroar would... Yeah, Cobalion would be a better pick over Incineroar. So we go for a double Protect. We don't get it, unfortunately. Gengar uses Shadow Ball into Whimsicott, which is fine. And then we get to bring... Yep, so they go for a close combat. Doesn't affect Dragapult, which is great. Tailwind does peter out, but it's not really that big a deal. Dragapult's definitely the fastest thing on the field right now. And we haven't Dynamaxed yet, so I'm thinking, who do we Dynamax? To be honest, there's nothing stopping me here from just going for a Max Wormwind into Urshifu. And going for a Darkest Lariat into... Could just go for another Fake Out into Urshifu, hoping that it doesn't carry. Yeah, I don't think we need to be too worried about it so much. So I'm going to actually go for a Darkest Lariat into Gengar, and I'm actually going to go for a Max Wormwind into the Urshifu. So if we don't pick up the KO on it, okay, so we're going to switch into Politoed. It's fine. Yeah, this doesn't really like bother us too much yet. Maybe I should have gone for the Max Phantasm to Gengar, that being said. I think while on Dynamax though, Gengar probably shouldn't pick up the one hit KO. It'll bring us pretty low, but I suppose Urshifu could have Sucker Punch, which will be in the back, so we might need to Max Guard a turn in an attempt to get a Flare Blitz off. But I'm hoping we should actually pick up the double KO here, actually. Nothing's suggesting we shouldn't. Depends how bulky the Politoed is, I suppose. We are life orbed, and it is at 50%, and that picks up the KO, brilliant. And then Gengar will probably go for a Shadow Ball into Dragapult. Providing it doesn't crit, it should definitely pick up the, not pick up the KO here, sorry. Shadow Ball. Yep, that's fine. And then we know that it's not sashed, and unless it's bulky, which I doubt it is, it's going to go down in one hit here. Yep, brilliant. So what I'm thinking to do next turn is actually go for a... Okay, Darkest Lariat's disabled there, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be using it on a Pokemon that's 4 times resistant to it, which is Urshifu, which is their last mon. So what I think I'm going to do here is just go for a Max Guard onto the Dragapult, and just go for a Flare Blitz onto the Urshifu. I should have probably predicted that switch. I actually think I forgot that Politoed was in the back. Probably because we picked up the KO on Kingdra. Politoed to me just becomes so passive, I actually forgot about it. Yeah, so this is just come up for them going for a Sucker Punch, which they do. And then we're going to go for a Flare Blitz. It's going to do half damage because of the rain, unfortunately. So, Yeah, it's not great. Do we get a burn instead? I think here there's nothing really stopping me from going for a max flare. Do I perhaps want to try... I suppose what I could do is go for a... No, I think that's a safer option. And actually going for another max card, because if this fails... Yeah, I feel like they're going to try and want to get rid of the Dragapult here. So if this fails, then it doesn't matter, because we've gone to try for a double protect, so their Sucker Punch will stuff out. And I feel like it's in my opponent's best interest to go for a Sucker Punch onto the Dragapult, as it's the biggest threat. So now here we get another Flare Blitz off, and even if this doesn't KO, next turn my opponent physically, and it doesn't matter anyway, my opponent physically couldn't KO both Pokemon next turn, as Urshifu doesn't carry any spread moves from what I know. So yeah, pretty clean first game. I felt like I could have closed that up a little bit sooner than I did. Yeah, definitely my bad for forgetting that Politoed was in the back. I'm trying to think what turn it actually switched out. Yeah, I've completely forgot. I think, like I said, knowing that it's pretty much there just to enable Kingdra, it's very easy to forget about it sometimes. I suppose that you do have to watch out for it. When I use the very similar round team to, well, not so much similar, but the lead being Kingdra and Politoed, I always used to conserve Politoed after it had got the rain up, so obviously I could switch it back in if the rain expired. But mainly also because I used to have mine carry Perish Song, so if we did get into a more defensive stalling style end game, Perish Song was always there to usually 9 times out of 10 pick up the win. So yeah, I should have probably considered that a little bit more. So if you guys are also doing that, you know, if you're knocking out the Kingdra, or, finding your own way around it, I found this Lapras and Whimsicott combination to be brilliant, especially considering the fact that Whimsicott can carry beat up as well for Cobalion, as I mentioned in the intro. So Whimsicott's very versatile on this team, which is brilliant. So yeah, if you guys have found your own little way of like KOing, one-hit KO in a Dynamax Kingdra, do let me know down in the comments. As it's interesting to see what's like taking out the bigger threats in this metagame at the moment. But yeah, I'm definitely really enjoying the Freeze Dry, Fate Tears, Lapras and Whimsicott combination at the moment. So yeah, like I said, pretty clean first game. Shouldn't have forgotten about the Politoed. That coming a little bit closer than I would have liked. The Urshifu was threatening us a little bit there. Luckily my opponent didn't make the hard read into me going for a double max guard to avoid the Sucker Punch landing and actually target down the Incineroar with a close combat. And then the following turn, target down Dragapult with a Sucker Punch, as that would have won them the game. So, but that would have been a pretty hard read for them to make, I think. So, yeah. But let's jump straight into the second one. Okay, so for our second game of today's episode, we have nothing too specific, I suppose. Not really sure what the Licky is actually planning on doing. Crocodiles. Yeah, Crocodile gets pretty suffered by Cobalion, except it can return a lot of damage with max Quakes and even Earthquake as a whole. Might actually I need to get access to High Horse, but I'm not too sure. Luxray we don't have anything specific for, however it could be Intimidating, or it could be Guts as well actually, it could have a Flame Orb on it. So we need Incineroar for the Ferrothorn, that's definite. I'm actually thinking here, I suppose there's a Follow Me user in the form of Togekiss, isn't there? Is there anything really stopping me here from leading Lapras and Whimsicott again? I suppose I have an easier time if I lead. Maybe my opponent seems actually like pretty well versed for up against mine. What I'm actually going to do here is go for Cobalion and Whimsicott. See if we can get it off, because they'll probably lead Togekiss anyway, but at least Cobalion can do quite a lot of damage to it there. And then I suppose just Incineroar in the back seems quite good to me. Can't bring Togekiss because of the threat of the Ferrothorn and the Galarian Slowbro. And Dragapult, I don't really like the Crocodile up against Dragapult, just in case we can't, like, say if it comes down to a 1v1 at the very end, because I like to bring Dragapult in the back. Because I think a lot of the time when people don't see it led, they don't think to worry about it then. I'm not sure if that's anybody else, but that's definitely happened to me on a few occasions where I've thought, oh yeah, it's definitely not going to be Dragapult in the back, and then it causes a lot of problems because of its speed. Right, so if I had to make an assumption, I'd guess. Okay, so that's not actually that big a deal. I'm going to guess that the Crocodile maxes English from Max Quake. Okay, so it's Intimidate, which is good, because that means that we No, it's not going to protect this turn. Okay, however, the obvious only trouble here is the fact that we are -2 before we've even got started. So I don't really see the Luxray doing too much to me. I'm pretty sure it gets access to a fight move, as I know it's got quite a wide coverage this time around. So we're just going to go straight for the beat up into Cobalion so we can get to +2. And then by the time we've used the Max Knuckle, we'll be at +3. The Cobalion set that I'm actually running with EVs and things like that, it's spread out, so it's 150 defense and 150 special defense as well once you factor in the assault vest. I think it's just about 156 attack as well. That's obviously not EVs, that's like the finished stat. So it's relatively well rounded really, so even outside of beat up, obviously when it's not been intimidated twice, it does still quite considerable damage. It's still a worthy Dynamax candidate, but it's also quite easily not Dynamax too. I feel like it still picks up a lot of KOs outside of Dynamax. Right, so let's jump to Dynamax Luxray. I don't really know the speed tiers of these Pokemon, which isn't exactly great for us. However, this does get us back up to +2. And depending on how the turn obviously goes, we could get outsped by both of these and get knocked out. I'm really not sure how the speed tiers are with the new DLC Pokemon, so it's nice to know we're only actually doing 1 point of damage per beat up. So it's literally like 1 point of health for one stage of attack, which is pretty decent, I'd say. Okay. Right then, so who's going first? Right, so Crocodile is faster with high horsepower, so don't take that too badly. So we get off Max Knuckle here. This should pick up the one hit KO on the Crocodile. And now that puts it at +3. We know we're faster than the Luxray unless by some bizarre chance we speed tie. I'm just wondering what it might go for here. I suppose it could go for some kind of Max Knuckle stuff. Max Flare, okay, that's quite cool. And it's not stab, so it won't pick up the KO. Comes closer. Okay. I'm wondering what to do next turn now. I mean, depending on what they send out. We had no option really but to not go for the beat up there. I suppose I could have tried to conserve Cobalion a little bit better. Okay, so they've got a chance here to go for a some follow me stuff. So I think it's probably best that we go, maybe even switch. What sorts out the Luxray? I think I just want Cobalion to go down here. I'm actually going to go for a Max Steel Spike into the Togekiss. I'm actually going to switch Whimsicott into Incineroar just to get an Intimidate drop on the Luxray, and then when Cobalion gets knocked out, this is obviously a prediction, when Cobalion gets knocked out this turn by the Luxray, I can bring Whimsicott back in and go for a Tailwind then. I doubt this is going to drop the Luxray's attack stat enough to not knock out Cobalion. Okay, so there's the follow me. And then Max Steel Spot will definitely pick up the KO here, unless for some odd reason. Okay, Burberry Berry. I was actually going to say unless it's Focus Sash, but yeah, Burberry Berry might just do it actually because we're only at +2, and nope. We stab and +2, and Cobalion's pretty natural high attacks that picks up the KO there. Okay, so I'm thinking now the Luxray is just going to go for another Max Flare. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is the trouble sometimes. When you're just going for super effective damage, you're not really getting anything off, in my opinion. Like, sometimes, obviously, you know, other times, like we did twice then, used the Max Knuckle and Max Steel Spike and picked up 2 worthy KOs. But the Luxray's actually, like, had to use 2 Dynamax turns to take out Cobalion, and it actually had this assist, like, you know, an assist from the Crocodile too. So, all in all, we definitely used our Dynamax turns better than theirs, even though they're still out on the field. So, you know, sometimes like you can be looking up at a Dynamax Pokemon thinking, Jesus, like, you know, I've got the disadvantage here, but still, you know, we're three up, and you know they've only got 2 left. So, even if I was to like parting shot and do things like that here, I can still cycle Incineroar in, and the Luxray can't do anything about it. It can't switch out to reset those stat drops. So, speaking of which, actually, that's actually what I'm going to go for here. I'm going to go for a Tailwind. So I'm not sure if Licky Licky gets access to Fake Out. Hopefully it doesn't. So I'm going to go for a Tailwind here. I'm actually going to go for a parting shot into the Luxray, so I know that we're at speed. Pretty sure we should outspeed. If Cobalion was outspeeding at 128, we should outspeed at 160. Okay, so that gets another attack drop on the Luxray. I'm hoping I shouldn't be too worried about the Licky, and I'm actually ignoring it for the wrong reasons here. So we switch Lapras in. Obviously we're in the sun, so hopefully they don't go for a Max Flare into Incineroar. Obviously that would be a bit weird, but they should go into Whimsicott. Yep. Bring us down to our Sash. Not even, because of the attack drops. And Luxray's actually doing like a nice little bit of chip damage to itself really here. So, okay, Muddy Water, nice. I suppose like normal types, you have to watch out for all their different techs. Yeah, I was actually going to put Water Absorb on Lapras. Luckily we don't get any accuracy drops there. I was actually going to put Water Absorb on Lapras, but I felt that the critical, the shell armor was actually better to stop critical hits. So if we go up against a Crit Kiss, they can literally break through screens without even using Brick Break, which is pretty scary stuff. So I think here we can just let Whimsicott die. What I'm actually going to do is go for a Fake Tears onto... I don't feel like I have to worry about the Luxray so much. Maybe the Licky is a little bit bulkier than I would want it to be. So I think I'm going to go for Fake Tears and a... Do I need to worry about the Luxray actually? Yeah, I'm going to say that I do. So I'm actually going to go for a Fake Tears into the Luxray and a Freeze Dry onto it too. Should outspeed it. Yeah, we've got the same speed stat as Incineroar, so... I had a moment there where I thought Luxray was a dark type because of its colouring. Okay, Freeze Dry. Not sure if this picks up the car, but we'll get a good bit of damage out onto it anyway. Yeah, no problem. Wild Charge. We are very bulky, so yeah, we need the Fake Tears to actually do something, and Luxray can just continues to do damage to itself here. So obviously Wind, it's not really too much of a problem really. Okay, that picks up the KO on Whimsicott, which is better for us because that means we can use Fake Out onto the Luxray next turn, just to ensure that we actually get the KO on it, just in case we now don't outspeed Luxray with Lapras due to the Icy Wind drop. I'm trying to think, it's like 0.67. It's like it's your speed times 0.67 when you get a drop. So I don't think it's worth me actually like trying to run the calculations on that. The Luxray is not actually doing anything at the moment, to be fair, thinking about it. So I don't know if it's in my interest to use the Sun. It's probably only got like one turn left now, so... Yeah, I think what I'm actually going to do is go for a Flare Blitz into the Licky. And actually go for an Ice Shard into the Luxray. This should pick up the KO. I don't really see the point in... Okay, so it protects, that's fine. Yeah, Flare Blitz should do considerable damage because of the Sun here. And even next time we can just go for another Ice Shard. I probably should have... I could have faked out the Licky, but I think with the Sun being up, I wanted to get that extra damage. I suppose with the Muddy Water threat, I should probably consider that. I suppose the... Yeah, I mean, we're not completely out of the woods yet. So I think I need to go for a... I'm going to go for another Flare Blitz onto the Licky, as I want it to bring us into our Aguav sorry, range, and then I'm just going to go for Ice Shard onto the Luxray. This should pick up the KO for me. I'd be quite surprised if it doesn't. Yep, so that's the Luxray gone. I'm not sure if the Licky is like choice specs into Muddy Water, as that's all it keeps opting for. So, and then does this put us in? I think it's just outside. Muddy Water, as long as it doesn't crit. Okay, we avoid, so that's fine. I think that pretty much seals up this game. Yeah, Lapras is taking next to no damage there. I haven't actually had an accuracy drop there as well. I feel like that's quite justified. Okay, so our Tailwind Pewter's there. I'm not sure if this is really going to affect the matchup too much. I suppose like there is still a way my opponent could get out of this. Simply by just getting loads of accuracy drops and us not hitting a single attack, so... Yeah, in the second game, coming a little bit closer than I would have liked, but it's still outspeed the Licky, and this should pick up the KO, and there it is. So yeah, this team has been absolutely brilliant. I've finished building it in, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, so it took me about a day to build. A couple of the Pokemon like Dragapult, Whimsicott, and not the Lapras actually. as I explained in the intro, I actually changed the Lapras about an hour before recording these two battles. After I figured out that damage calculation against the Kindred, which I'm so happy we actually went up against, so we got a chance to showcase that. As I feel like in the previous episodes, all I've been saying is like how I'm excited to showcase one part of the team, and then I never get a chance to do so because the matchups are never right. This team that I've actually managed to build, as I explained in the previous episode, it being a little bit more what's current in the meta right now, it's paying off perfectly. Everyone who's trying to bring a little bit more gimmicky stuff is getting absolutely squashed, and anyone who's running similar stuff, I feel like I'm managing to outthink them a little bit. So yeah, it's looking pretty good at the moment. I might do a few more days with this team since I'm on like such a winning streak with it. It seems like, why fix something that isn't broken? So yeah, that being said, if you enjoyed the video, guys, please do leave a like and a comment down below, and if you want to see more of this content, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell? That way you'll always know when I upload, and I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, take care, guys.